Hey, what's up? It's Preach as always. So, in today's video, we're going to be talking about a pretty controversial topic. So, I want you to start thinking about your answers right now. Should Call of Duty go back to jetpack games, or should they stay boots on the ground? Now, before we dive too deep into the discussion, if this is your first time to the channel, make sure you leave a comment letting me know that you dropped by. If you like what you see here, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and turn the bell notifications on so that you know every time I post a new video. I'm hoping to get to 1,000 subs by the 4th of July, so anybody that subs, I love you and thank you. One point I want to make, and that I find hilarious really, is that right now, this is May 7th, 2022. Okay. Black Ops 3 on Steam, which is the gameplay you're currently seeing in the background, has more concurrent players than Battlefield 2042. That is a 7-year-old Call of Duty title with more PC players than the newest Battlefield title. What an absolute dumpster fire of a game that's been, honestly. But that's besides the point. These opinions in this video are obviously completely subjective, but hopefully I can give you something to think about. The number one thing about Jetpack Call of Duty that I think sets them apart from most of the Call of Duty franchise in a positive way is the color palette. Now, BO4 wasn't technically a jetpack, but it also had a really good color palette. Treyarch just seems to do a much better job with the colors, in my opinion, than the other development studios. Now, because these games are not trying to be grounded in realism, it allows the developers to use a much more bold and solid color palette, which in my opinion is just more visually pleasing, but more importantly, it makes it easier to see what's actually going on in the map. Like, these recent games that have focused so heavy on realism have so many dark corners and similar color patterns everywhere. It can be really hard to spot people, which just creates another advantage for the corner camping Timmies to hide in while they ask their mom to polish their participation trophies. Now, just looking at the games I have up on screen right now, the colors look so much better than anything that we're playing right now. Halo does a great job with this, but again, Halo is not trying to stay grounded in realism. So staying on the anti-realistic subject for a second, that provides a lot of other advantages as well beyond just the color palette. The game that's focused on being realistic is limited in the weapons and equipment that can be used in the game. I mean, it literally took until last week of April, like literally just over a week ago, for Vanguard to give us trophy systems. Seriously? I mean, the game came out in the beginning of November, and it took till the end of April to get trophy systems to somehow deal with the nade spam that all the small maps and all the objective modes are plagued with. So why did it take them so long to give us trophies, you might ask? Well, because Sledgehammer said when Vanguard came out that trophy systems did not exist in World War II. And while that's true, I just simply do not care. I don't care. Multiplayer is not a simulation of what actually happened in World War II. I respawn after I die. That literally ends the realism thing right there. I respawn after I die. Realisticness, gone. Out the window. Give me a trophy system. I don't want to get naded all day. So dumb. Anyway, when you make a jetpack game, it's a little bit futuristic and you're open to putting in literally whatever weapons and whatever equipment you want, which should give us that arcade shooter feel that made Call of Duty popular to begin with. It shouldn't be something about just grounding this thing in so much realism that we just throw the fun out the window. But let's move off the realistic versus unrealistic debate for a second. I want to talk about the most obvious part of a jetpack game, and that is the movement. When jetpacks first came out, I was very opposed to the advanced movement thing. I still don't like the way it was done in Advanced Warfare. Infinite Warfare was, Treyarch came the closest of the devs to perfecting it with Black Ops 3, in my personal opinion. Wow, my teammates suck, dude. What is this? I do think whether it is dolphin diving, drop shotting, bunny hopping, or even wall running, that movement itself should be a part of the skill gap in Call of Duty. And JetPacks did a good job of creating that dynamic without breaking the game. What do you mean, Preach, breaking the game? Okay, the current games have added in tack sprint. So, you know, all the games have had sprint mechanic. You have your normal walking speed, and then you could sprint. And the more recent games have all had unlimited sprint, which is great, because I remember complaining to my buddy Caleb way back when BO1 was new, like, I'm supposed to be an elite soldier and I can sprint for 4 steps before I'm out of breath. That's ridiculous. But now, Modern Warfare 2019 and Vanguard added in something called tack sprint. So you had your walk, you had your sprint, and then you have tack sprint, which is like this extra fast sprint. You throw your gun up in the air and you're just trucking. All right, that is tack sprint. Tack sprint, in my opinion, is a game-breaking mechanic. So it can be a skill gap, but it did something. It created this ability to slide cancel, which I'm not going to get into all of how that works in this video. But it can break the camera of the opponent when coming around the corners. And it gives you an advantage just more due to a broken mechanic than actual skill involved in the move. And in my opinion, a skill gap just should not be a game-breaking mechanic. And when I say camera breaking, what I'm referring to is it's kind of the time gap when you come around the corner. If you're the guy sliding around the corner, the guy who's seeing you come around doesn't see you as fast as you see him. The camera takes a second to show you to him. So you have an advantage. You slide around, you see him, and you can start shooting before his camera even registers that you're on the screen. That's called breaking the camera. And it gives an actual advantage to the person who's doing the moving, even more so than somebody who's pre-aiming the corner in these current games, because tack sprint comes across so fast. You can be so far past the corner before it even registers that you're there, that they see things really late, and you just have a better chance of getting off the first shot. And to me, that's not a true skill gap. It's not how movement should work in a Call of Duty game. You've always been able to, quote, camera people in Call of Duty, but tack sprint and slide canceling have really compounded that problem and made it to where it's more of a broken mechanic than it is an actual skill gap. In the jetpack games, you had to work to master the jumps, the wall runs, the angles, and your aim, but they didn't break the game. Now, we've been going on this for 8 minutes here, so I want to get to my conclusion. My overall conclusion is not as pro jetpack as this commentary has seemed so far. I think the best movement system we've ever had in a Call of Duty title was in Black Ops 4. I prefer not to have people wall running all over the map, double jumping, but I love the sliding in BO4, and even the grapple hook was an absolute blast to use. But it wasn't difficult to counter either, which is how any mechanic in the game should work. They should be fun to use, but they should also have the ability to be countered. A good arcade shooter, in my opinion, is about fun and balance. Realism should take a backseat to those two priorities. I'm not saying we should abandon realism, just don't be realistic at the expense of fun and balance. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Now, ultimately, the best Call of Duty is whatever allows the players to have the most fun. So let me know in the comments below what sounds like the most fun Call of Duty to you, and what features do you want? Do you want modern, futuristic, historical? Do you want jetpacks or boots on the ground? I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, don't forget to like and subscribe, turn the bell notifications on, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Preach out.